All right, everybody, welcome back to the Hockamock Moto Vlog. Today is June 17th. We got, if I can do this, apparently not, Whack Daddy, Amanda, myself, and today we are actually going to meet TJ and Steph Thompson, aka the Ornery One, and it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. We're leaving out of the shop now. Gonna fuel up, gonna go meet up with them, and see you guys in a little bit. Little update. First of all, crispy boys for everyone around.
Beers.
So, little update. We tried to shoot a video at Ben & Jerry's in Waterbury, Vermont, and my phone decided to screw up and not work. So, shut up, Whack. We're going to start from the beginning. So we left out of the shop at about 8:15 this morning, fueled up, got on the road for 8:20. The ride going to Springfield wasn't too eventful. It did, however, prove that people in this state do suck at driving. There was an incident where someone got pulled over. It wasn't one of us, and everyone decided to lock up their brakes from about 75 miles an hour. So we ended up getting off in Chicopee and met TJ and Steph, aka the Ornery One, at this little diner called Rusty's. It was really good food, really decently priced. So if you're ever up that way, I would definitely suggest hopping in there. So the fun thing is, we had a very interesting ride to Waterbury, Vermont. If you don't know, that's where the Ben & Jerry's factory is. And on the way there, two kind of funny things happened. The first funny thing happened was we took a wrong turn, got off the highway, back on the highway. Well, as soon as we got back on the highway, we had about an hour to go, and my right side saddlebag lid popped open. Now, this isn't the first time it happened, but I'm lucky Amanda was on the back, and she literally held it down for almost an hour so it didn't fly out. Whack actually rode up next to me, letting me know that it was open, and I made a motion to him, and I thought he said a bunch of shit blew out of the bag. Fortunately for me, nothing came out. The other thing is, as we were going, Alex rode up next to me and started going like this, pointing to his tank, and that was at about, how many miles in, dude?
It was like 145 we were at.
And I tried to catch up to TJ as we passed an exit, and it said the next exit was like 5 or 7 miles away. So we ended up getting off the highway, pulled into the gas station, and literally as we pulled into the pump, his bike just ran out of fuel. So we probably spent about 20 minutes there, little smoke break, stretch out, drank Red Bull, and at that point we're about 15 minutes from Ben & Jerry's. If you ever do find yourself up in Vermont, I would totally suggest going up there. They had a whiskey ice cream with caramel, and it was absolutely delicious. You got it. What'd you think?
Oh, it was amazing.
Unfucking real.
Now, he's the only one that got a large in the group, which was like 2 scoops. The rest of us got smalls.
Still very small.
It was still small.
Large to me is a pint.
Yeah, a large is a pint for you. So anyway, so we ended up leaving up there and riding back. We ended up stopping to have dinner with TJ and stuff we stopped at one barbecue place. It was closed. And the next barbecue place we went to was open. We had dinner there. It was really nice. Rode out of there. We were right on the New Hampshire-Vermont line. We actually passed Twin States Harley-Davidson, which is Lebanon. I've been there once. And so, yeah, so we rode back, pretty uneventful ride back to here, checked in about 2 hours ago. It's about 10 o'clock now. So we had a pretty much solid 12 hours out. These two got pretty sunburned.
Oh, yeah.
Wait. Oh, yeah. That's bad.
Yet I managed to come out pretty unscathed for today. So, I'm just going to wrap this up. Like I said, we grabbed a couple beers, had like a really late lunch, early dinner. I'm thinking we're probably pretty all exhausted.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be fair to say, is we're exhausted. So, tomorrow we're going to see what happens. I know we're planning to go to actual Lacoina Bike Week, go to Weirs Beach and Meredith Harley and see what's going on there. Other quick side note is me and Alex actually did shoot a little mini video with TJ, which was really cool. If you don't follow those guys, you probably should. Probably should have mentioned that in the way beginning of this video. And I swear this is only my first beer of the day. There's about another 9 sitting over there that need to get drank before the end of the night. So, keep the rubber down, the shiny up. Don't drink and ride. And, well, we'll get to you guys tomorrow and let you know what the hell we're doing. So, see you soon. All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Great Hockey Mock Moto Vlog. LSX Lex, Alex, Amanda, myself. So it is Saturday morning at almost 10 o'clock and it's like, I don't know, hot as hell. So a little update with yesterday. We went to Laconia. We hung out with TJ and Steph. They did their thing with KST bars, custom dynamics. They got some new parts put on. They're going to do a video about that shit. And so, yeah, the reason we didn't really shoot yesterday was because we were just kind of enjoying ourselves, having fun at Bike Week. We ended up going down to the strip, hung out there for a little bit at Weirs Beach, then took off to the good old Broken Spoke. However, it's now High Octane Saloon. But for a lot of us, we still just call it the Spoke. Ended up having dinner with them last night, and then we shot back to our place, got in around 10 or 11, and now we're just packing up. So today's plan is we're going to meet them in wherever they're staying, I forget the name of the town, and ride up to the Kangamangas, go through the Kang, get to the other side, and we're going to ride to Bentley's, have lunch, and then we're all riding south. And it looks like since we're all riding south, we're going to go back to the shop, but we're probably going to take 93 through the city so they can see it in all its infinite glory. And then once we're done with that, we're going to go, like I said, we're probably going to have to stop for fuel along the way there. Once we're in the city or out of the city, Whack, we should probably figure out fuel for you.
Yeah, we should probably stop before.
Yeah. Because I don't know if I mentioned this the other day, he ran out pulling into the pump. But so the big thing for us today is we're going to cover a bunch of ground, and we're probably going to ride 93 through the city, stop in Dedham or something, get fuel, and then probably hop 95 with them, run 95 south to 495, peace out from there, and then we'll go back to the shop, and they're going to go on their way, and they're going to try to get some mileage in today. So see you soon. Whack, Amanda, myself. So we just finished riding the Kangamangas, and tip food for thought. Always check the weather. So Miss Amanda, right before we got on to the Kangamangas, decided that it would be a wonderful idea to check the weather. And in doing so, we got a special weather alert saying that there is hail, thunderstorms, and all that fun stuff coming towards us. Now, I'm going to try to do this. You can kind of see up over here how, like, absolutely shitty it looks. So right now, we're probably about 50, 75 miles Whack from home. So right now, we just want to stop, pee, figure out what our plan is, route ourselves home. So we're going to do a little update too when we get back to the shop, probably a quick 5-minute video. So we're going to enjoy a little break here for a few minutes, and from here, like I said, we're probably going to run straight home, and we'll kind of explain why after, right, Whack? Yeah. So we went about 96 miles since our last fill up, so about 100 miles. Probably going to try to run this tank to about another 50 miles or so, get fuel, and I'm hoping that puts us at about $1.25-ish till home. And at that, sick road glide. Sorry, give us about 125 miles till home, and we definitely should be able to make that on a tank. So that was that update. Talk to you guys soon. Bye. All right, welcome back to the last installment of this video from the Hockey Mock Moto Vlog. We got Jameson the boy in the shop here. Little update, it's actually Tuesday. I know in the last video we said we were going to shoot Saturday, but that's kind of what this is about and why we're shooting Tuesday and not Saturday. So, recap where we left off. We talked about the weather, how it's important, check it. And we also talked about what we were going to run for distance. So that video was shot at about 1:50 in the afternoon. We still had about a 3-hour ride ahead of us. We rode Route 16 all the way to 95. Along the way, we stopped, grabbed fuel, and you can't tell Amanda's not here. And we actually have our remote today, which is making this a hell of a lot easier. We had to stop, get fuel, and then we were all pretty hot and kind of hungry because we'd only eaten breakfast. So we decided at that point we're gonna stop, hit a Wendy's. We hit Wendy's, ate, hop back on the road. Riding home was pretty uneventful up until we hit the Mass border. Typical Mass holes, can't drive. Got through that, got down to the Newton Service Plaza where we decided to take a quick break, pee, grab a Red Bull, grab some water, glad we grabbed water, stretch out a little bit, and then we headed further south. And that was probably about 5:15, 5:30. So we had anticipated to be back here at that time. Like I said, we had a couple of setbacks. We knew fuel was going to happen. We weren't sure about food, but it was what it was. So we got back on the highway. About 3 miles down the road, what happened?
Yeah.
You're taking the lead on this one, buddy. What happened?
What? The traffic jam?
Yeah, Hottie McHot.
Yeah. We hit a massive traffic jam because there was a really bad accident that blocked 2 lanes. I have a tuner on my bike. He has a tuner, obviously, but I have the digital display. Our bikes got a little hot.
But what were they at? Or what was
Mine-
yours at? Let's start with that, because we don't know how hot mine really was.
I mean, different motor, different breathing, obviously. Yours has a better intake, so it probably breathed a little bit better. Mine got up to about 370, 375-ish.
So if you don't know this, Harleys are air cooled. So when it's hot as hell and you're sitting in traffic, they run like a bag of shit. Newer bikes, you can actually shut down the front. I think it shuts down the front cylinder, and the rear cylinder is the only one running, and it makes it so it doesn't run as hot. Touching on that note, I bought my bike used. He bought his bike used. I want to find the owner's manual, so if anyone on here has a link to get the actual owner's manual, that'd be greatly appreciated. If not, I'm sure I can go search Google quite a bit and find something. So I think I was actually able to shut down my front cylinder. Now when you do this, your bike runs like shit. So we got through the traffic jam. The bike would not go over 3,000 RPMs, wouldn't even go really over 2,500. And we're going, and cars are starting to whip by us.
They were not happy.
I thought we were gonna get smashed, not gonna lie. So we got through that, go up, get on to the next highway we had to go on, where there was another 3-car accident with a rollover. Well, we didn't know this at the time, that that's what the accident was. However, we did see the impending doom of brake lights, so we hopped off and did back roads all the way to the shop. Now, when the air is hot, the temperature is hot, the bikes don't cool as well, so we had to stick to back roads. Oops. And the way we went, I thought was going to be the best route. I don't know if it was the best route. Really wasn't. There was no good way at this point to get home. So we hopped the back road, came all the way back to the shop. We got here at approximately 7:30. We did take a quick little stop at a spot. I took off, you stayed. So that's kind of the reason we didn't shoot this, because by the time we got back here, I'm just gonna kind of say it, we were all kind of cranky. The heat.
Me for different reasons, but
Yes. And truth be known too, we haven't actually started the bike since we've come back.
you know,
I definitely haven't. So, first things first, this last section of the video here is a recap. opinions, more Kofifi. I'm gonna kind of kick this off. If any of you who are watching this video, all like 60 people or 60 views, whatever the fuck it is, I'm a nobody. He's a nobody. We don't ever really want to be a somebody. We like being a nobody. One of the big things about this trip that I learned is I do want to keep this channel growing and going. However, things I thought I had wanted in the beginning that would be really cool, and I'm not really going to say what those are, I don't want anymore. I want to keep this fluid and neutral, and you kind of see us for us, and
Just
you know,
keeping it real.
yeah, and doing interviews with people. You know, this trip was a learning experience for us. We did, not saying we wouldn't have gone to Laconia or Bike Week or rode the Kangamangas or anything like that. To be honest, we probably wouldn't have ridden to Ben and Jerry's with TJ and Steph. I speak for myself and Amanda because I talked to her about it, but I think I can speak on your behalf of it. That was fun as hell. There are just some things that we learned, and you only learn through trial and error, what works and what doesn't. And one of the things about this channel is that we think we might have a good thing going, and we want to keep that good thing going. Which leads me to the next thing. I'm just going to go out on a limb on a personal kind of level note here. Don't ever think you can't do something. You'll hear sports players and famous people always say that shit. But as a regular average Joe guy, I'm telling you, take the fucking shot. Don't let something that might scare you or hold you back or whatever, just fucking do it. And we kind of joked about getting tattoos up at Laconia. We ended up not doing it, and I was gonna do it.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
You were afraid of what she was gonna say.
No. They were doing tattoos in the middle of the Harley dealer, and I was like, and it looked like you couldn't get anything custom, but the idea I had kicked around is, instead of the Nike swoosh, do either a Sasquatch or the logo. And instead of Hockamock Vlog, I was going to put just do it. Just to remind us, it's always worth taking the gamble. Even if you fail and go flat on your face, you can at least say you tried. So that being said, this trip taught us a lot, showed us a lot, and helped. Jesus, you're popular over there. What is that, Pornhub blowing up or Tinder?
Snapchat.
Tinder. It's clearly Tinder. Jesus. Point is, take the shot. Always try to live the experience. So kind of on that note, some of the things we learned is, one, you should always have a semi-game plan. And the reason I say that, and I want you to dabble on this after I speak about it, is when we were riding up with TJ and Steph, Alex's bike is an 06. That's an 11. I have a 6-gallon tank, he has a 5. He has a 5-speed transmission, I have a 6. He has an 88-inch motor, I have a 103. The motor size,
It's a big difference.
it's a big difference. I'm not saying the motor size really matters, but it matters a little bit, especially that 6th gear, and mainly the fuel tank size. 1 gallon of gas, they say you get about 40 miles a gallon on these bikes.
I was averaging around 42, 43.
40 miles is huge. I don't care who you are or what you think. 40 miles is a ways. So that being said, I think a very good practice would be to have a conversation with everybody you're riding with. Say, hey, listen, we need to stop at 140 miles, 130 miles, 100 miles, whatever the fixed number you come up with. It should be discussed, thrown out on a plan, and that was our bad. That was literally our bad, not blaming TJ and Steph at all. Like, if you guys watch us, we don't blame you, that was on us. We should have figured that out before we ran with you guys. But it definitely makes for a hell of a story. So we're riding down the highway, and I think we kind of already touched on it. Alex rides up next to me pointing to his tank, so I try to catch up to them, and we're passing an exit, and I'm like,
No, what did I ride up next to you first for?
fuel? Oh, my
Your
saddlebag came open. As we're continuing to go, he's like pointing to his tank, so I run up to them because I had a little extra to go. You didn't really want to handle that, so I pointed at him, and then I went like this, and I kind of took the lead. We got off, grabbed fuel. Alex's bike died going into the gas station, and he took 4.7 gallons, which you still have to look into of why your fuel overflow is being gay and pissing fuel on the ground.
Bike lanes a lot. It's because of 21.
We'll get your kickstand block. Well, something on there. Anyway, other point of this is that's something that you should definitely discuss with all members of your party, which we hadn't really done. We kind of just hopped on the road, and I think we both kind of anticipated that we were going to run probably 120 miles, 125 or so, and then maybe stop, find fuel, whatever. Like I said, that was just a stupid little thing that you probably should have like a group meeting and just kind of see what everybody's comfortable with, and so on and so forth. The next biggest thing we learned is food and water. You want to talk about this? Or should I? I should probably, yeah. So, you know your own body better than anybody else. One thing that I don't drink enough water during the day, neither does he. I've been trying to get better. Amanda constantly drinks water, and there's nothing wrong with that. So she's used to staying very hydrated. Well, when you're out on the bike and in the sun, you get dehydrated a little quicker. That being said, we have now come up with an idea of kind of we're going to throw a cooler in either my tour pack or his with ice packs, water, drinks, whatever. Just so if we do have to stop, we can have a Yeti or I think we're looking into Arctic, actually, RTIC. I think it's Arctic because there's a polar bear on it. But anyway, we're looking at something similar to that setup, so that way we can, we don't have to be reliant on stopping at the gas station every time. If it's the side of the road to fill up the water bottles into the Yetis or Arctic cups or whatever the hell it may be, we have that ability to. The other thing is food. So I don't know if you guys can notice in the first couple of videos I was kind of chunky. I've slimmed way down. I've lost about 30 pounds, 35 pounds so far. I eat once a day now. What the hell did you just do? Oh yeah.
Clapping. Silent clapping.
Silent clap and lots of black coffee. That being said, I eat one meal a day. However, Thursday I ate breakfast, which was 2 eggs and toast, which was really good. The coffee wasn't bad either. We had ice cream. Then we had barbecue. Then we had some beer.
First of all, the fucking ice cream was unreal.
Yes.
Alright? Brand new ice cream from Ben & Jerry's.
Yes. We will get to that in a minute. But so Alex is a growing boy, as we all joke, between the 3 musketeers, as we call ourselves.
Growing boy, I could use a little slimming.
Yeah, whatever, dude. But the point is, you can get hungry, hungry. And so can other members of our party who are not present, who ride on the back of a red road glide. Maybe they get a little hangry.
He's right here.
He's not right there. But we kind of decided that we're going to throw a cooler on the bike so then that way we can carry some snacks, carry some stuff. This was really evident when we were coming back Saturday, where we were riding and Amanda started to not really feel good, which brings us to the next point. Bluetooth communication system. So I've dabbled about what I've owned for bikes a little bit before. My first Harley, which is really kind of my first bike, was a 2001 Harley Davidson Sportster 1200. A kid, Kevin, that we're friends with, he had a Gixxer 600, and we had come up with all these hand signals, like 5 was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you went down, it was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
See, now that makes more sense to me, because you kept doing that to me. I thought you were throwing gang signs at me.
No, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, or
See, I didn't know that. I
so
thought
yeah.
you were just fucking throwing gang signs
No,
or just
that's
being
where
weird.
that came from. So we did that. It was our own little language. Everybody has their own.
Me, it's just
Yeah. So Kevin got free Bluetooth Cena's. I've heard Cena. I've heard Senna. I've heard of Cardo. I've heard of Lexin. There's a bunch of different companies. I'm personally familiar with Senna, whatever the hell it
same
is.
thing.
Yeah. We had the SMH10 system. At one point, I had 2 of them. Now I have 1 of them. I forgot how important that is to be able to communicate with other riders in your group. Even if it's something as simple as, hey, we gotta stop and go to the bathroom, or we didn't touch upon this, Friday night when we were coming back from dinner with everyone, there was a dead deer in the road that got splattered, which wasn't the bad part, but when we came off the exit, I might have nut slapped my own tank and started dry heaving and gagging and having things come into my mouth.
It's pretty fucking funny.
Thinking I was gonna vomit all over the side of the road. Nobody had any idea what happened. We got to the hotel. I kind of kicked her off the back of the bike very quickly. Remembered enough to put the kickstand down this time instead of just leaning it over, and went and threw up real quick because it hurt pretty bad. It's not the first time I've done that either. But I will say it would have been a lot worse, and this isn't a plug for Legends, but hey Legends, how you doing? That would have been 10 times worse without that front suspension in the bike.
I've never fucking personally done it, so I don't even understand
I do
do it.
The
Just standing.
No, there was a drain grate on the edge of the off ramp. I cut tight because you were on the outside, and it was quite a drop. I grabbed both brakes. I grabbed the front. It went in the hole and kind of wobbled. So I grabbed a little more and it slid because I wasn't expecting it. I just kind of. I think she wasn't expecting it. She might have pushed me a little bit, which is kind of another reason I want to put the backrest on so there's a buffer zone.
Your backrest folds. Because
Shit.
when you lean back, it blocks it. When
That's
it goes
true.
forward, it just rolls.
So
It'll hold you against it.
this is
Squash
all
them.
right. We'll talk about that after. So, God damn it. Big thing with
Dropping that.
no, it won't. So the big thing is we're starting to discuss what we want to get from Bluetooth communicators, whether we're going to go the route of the Sena 10C Evo, which has a camera built in so we can actually shoot motovlog footage, which is what we're kind of leaning towards because it is a motovlog. However, we are looking into the regular SMH10, or there's other models, we're looking into those as well. So that way we can at least communicate. Some of them have like an FM transmitter so you can listen to the radio. We're on baggers, we don't need the radio. We have that built in. So, last but not least point is, and I'm sorry, we're gonna touch on it. You're not his birth today, can I see your arm? You got glove tan.
Glove tan. Well, first of all, I'm just pale white right here, and then just.
Nice and dark up top.
Well,
I'm all, oh wow. See, no, I evened out. Clothing.
I fucked up.
And this kind of goes with packing gear. So, with packing, you should always, the old rule of thumb is, if you think you don't need it, bring it anyway, because that's when you're going to get caught with your pants down and going to get soaked, whether it's rain gear, cold gear for up
I mean,
here.
we didn't bring any of that. So.
Well, we didn't bring rain gear, but we did bring leather in case.
My whole thing is I just fucked up and didn't put sunscreen on.
Yeah.
Had my long sleeve on, took it off like an idiot.
So that's kind of where this leads to. We're gonna, whether it's Dixon flannel or something. I know Columbia makes lightweight saltwater fishing gear. We've talked about that. It's important to keep the sun off your body because then you're paying for it for the next day, 2, 3, Pretty sure you're good by now, but
Oh, I was done that second day.
Saturday, Friday.
I'm Irish and Italian. I burn and then I
Alright,
turn
I
to
gotta stop playing
Italian.
with this button. Anyway, so that was kind of one of the learning experiences we had. We did, I don't know if we mentioned it, we did do a little video with TJ and stuff. We're not gonna really talk about what it was up at Ben and Jerry's. Definitely want to give that a plug though. So that is in Waterbury, Vermont, which is northern Vermont-ish. If you ever find yourself if you ever find yourself up that way, I totally suggest doing it. By the way, they do have that ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
They also have a marshmallow ice cream.
Ah. Fat. You think I don't know this?
So the whiskey ice cream we got was absolutely delicious. It was called Whiskey Biz. And there's one at the Braintree Mall, by the way. And they have Whiskey
I'm
Biz.
surprised I'm not there right now.
I know it's a little toasty in the garage. So back to the important thing of this. There was a lot of good things we learned, and like I said, I'm not really trying to plug Mustang seats, Legend suspension, or custom dynamics, but hey, if you guys see this and you want to contact me, go for it. I hate to say it, we never really adjusted the sag on my bike or messed with the preload adjustment. We've just left it on 3. And with the bags full, the tour pack had stuff in it, and that bag that I used, which is the Builtwell X-Fill 80. It holds 80 cans of beer. I bought it when I had my Dyna. Worked amazing. However, if I did have to put the rain fly on, it wouldn't have worked, and I have to rethink that whole scenario because I might get some bungees to leave in it so I can just bungee it all down. Anyway, long story short of that, everything worked amazing, and
If anything, all the extra weight helped. With
Right.
the suspension. So.
it, everybody says, oh, it rides like a dream. It literally rides like a dream. The seats, I do really want to hammer that home. Mustang is a Massachusetts-based company in Three Rivers, which is actually Palmer, I guess. It's a town within a town type of thing is the best way to describe it, I guess. My ass got a little squirrely riding up to get breakfast. But then when we did the long run, my ass didn't get squirrely at all. Then riding back, my ass didn't get squirrely at all. So I think the seats.
You're still breaking your seat in.
Yeah,
So.
I think you are still, because I think that was a brand new seat. So, next order of business. Another thing we learned is, I guess kind of the way to put it is, don't be afraid to do your own thing. And the reason I say that is, it's a hell of a lot better to ride with a group. We kind of mentioned it, we rode with TJ and stuff to Vermont, then back to Laconia. And then, I think it was Justin, and I can't remember, Sheila something. I'm sorry I butchered your guys' names. That's who they stayed with. We actually rode with them when we all went to go get dinner.
Demo. Last name's Demo.
Okay. It was,
because they're from Middleborough.
which is really kind of funny. So we had a super great time. If you can ride in a group, ride in a group. But we met my buddy Joe up there.
Big old boy.
He is a big old boy, but he's a good boy. We're actually gonna try and get him on the channel because he makes us look like fucking weekend warriors and
Makes Steph and TJ look like amateur hour.
no,
And the miles, I mean.
he rides. Joe rides year round in Massachusetts. However, his main thing is he goes back and forth on his bike. They travel the country. I give them a little more credit where credit's due, because I think he lives in Braintree and moves to Stoughton.
Still, we're in a fucking high snow area.
He does have a vehicle for when it's like really bad
But when it's not really bad, but still snowing.
or cold.
Yeah.
He'll send me a quick side note. So he'll send me a picture, he'll put something on Facebook or whatnot, and he'll wear one of those balaclava things, and he's got a beard. It's not as big as this, but it's just nice berg on his face, and I'm just like, dude, that is so terrible. I'm enjoying sitting in my heated car this morning. So anyway, last kind of order of business was this whole ride together. If you can't, just go out and enjoy the ride. Just go out and just enjoy it. You know, we feel really bad that we weren't able to meet up with TJ and stuff to ride the Kangamangus or go to Bentley's. But, and I'm not trying to get sentimental or weird with you, but I'm glad you were on the trip with us, and I'm glad, you know, we got to ride the Kank together.
Mm.
I mean, that was a major voyage for that on the Kank,
That's the first time I went up on the Kank, I believe. So.
or at least with you on it. And we had a hell of a trip, hell of a ride back. There was a few small things, packing wise, I would have changed. Like I said, 20/20 hindsight. So yeah, to kind of wrap this video up, we were definitely all kind of a little pissy when we got back because of the heat, the bikes. And to be honest, it was 7:30 at night. It was 2 o'clock when we left Conway. So it was 5.5 hours. Granted, there was probably 45, say an hour worth of stopping. Still 4 hours on a motorcycle is a decent chunk of time. So we're gonna shoot another video here in a few minutes because we got some other things to talk about. But this is the end of the Laconia trip. Thank you to Laconia Motorcycle Week for putting on a hell of a bike week, considering last year neither one of us attended because of COVID. Thank you to the ornery one, TJ Thompson, Steph Thompson, for being awesome fucking people and hanging out with us and getting us to ride 174 miles for ice cream. Which,
Well, it was technically like 2 something because we had to ride 100 plus miles out to meet them. So
we had booked, I think it's 107 up there.
up to Palmer.
Yeah, so hold on, we're gonna do this math quick. So it was 174, 274, call it 6 miles, 280 miles one way for ice cream. Would you do it again?
200%.
Yeah. So yeah, that was definitely worth it. But like I said, thank you to you guys for hanging out with us, letting us hang out with you guys at Fairing Exchange with Custom Dynamics, KST Bars. Thank you to Tower Hill Tavern in Laconia. They have no idea who the hell we are, but we went in there and had a couple of Bud Light beverages. That was kept them nice and cold. We appreciate that. The good old High Octane Saloon, aka the Broken Spoke. That was a good time as always. The one thing I will say too that I thought was kind of hilarious was that the cops did show up to the Spoke. Which we're not going to talk about. We didn't do anything, but that was pretty interesting.
Some people were getting rowdy, let's just say
Yeah.
that.
And not just the normal kind of rowdy. And if you're ever in Boscawen, New Hampshire, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Boscawen.
Boscawen. All right, we'll say Boscawen, New Hampshire. We stayed at like the Elmwood Motor Lodge Inn or something. For a place to sleep and shower, it was absolutely awesome. So if you ever find yourself up that way,
Pretty cheap for 2
yeah, it was
days,
under. For bike week, everything's like tripled in price. We were able to get the room for, with taxes, fees, everything included, for 2 nights for $271, which, if you guys don't know, that's insanely cheap. And I mean, the beds weren't horrible.
So.
I mean, nothing beats your bed at home and nothing beats your pillow at home. But when you're on the road, that's the other thing. I gotta bring my knee pillow because my knees are shot. That was another stupid little thing that.
Well, I'm gonna stuff in with egg, cut it out.
Stop looking your butt.
I'm gonna stuff him in somewhere and pull him out because I can't sleep without him.
Yeah.
I don't know how I did.
You passed the F out the first night, dude. You were snoring like a freight train.
Well, we rode just shy of 500 miles that day.
No, I think we did 5. So I did the math out. We'll talk about that after this video. So, in typical Hockomock Motovlog fashion, until the next time, keep the rubber down, keep the shiny up. Thanks for watching us babble and see our first multi-part video that we did. I don't know how this is going to come out. Thank you to, like I said, Laconia Bike Week 2021, TJ Thompson, Steph Thompson, the Ornery One, the Ornery Squad. If you don't know them, go give them a follow. Give the boy Jameson a follow. We gotta make him an Instagram, by the way. thanks to LSX Lex Motorsports right here, to Amanda for coming on the ride and really,
Else.
yeah, and being a rock star about the whole thing. Ben and Jerry's for the ice cream. Mustang seats, keeping our asses comfy in the saddle. I can say thank you to Legends. That is awesome. Thank you for Jameson for making the video that much better. And yeah, so we got a couple other trips planned. We're gonna go into that in another video. And until the next time, see you soon. It won't end. We're gonna edit this out.